episode, I'm going to show you one of the South Dakota State Library's electronic resources that you can use as a read aloud tool in your library or your classroom. So I'm starting at the State Library website, which is library.sd.gov, and I can either click on electronic resources at the top or under the quick links. It takes me to the same place, so we'll click on it here. And when we get to our A to Z listing of electronic resources, the one that we're going to look at today is BookFlix. You may or may not be familiar with this resource already. It's a great resource to explore the world of reading. So there are categories that you can find to choose your next story. We're just going to click on one today so we can kind of go over this together. So I'm going to just click on a story pair here. And what you get when you click on any story pair is a read aloud story and then also a nonfiction book that can be read alone or also read along with. So this is a great tool for a read aloud for a couple of different reasons. First of all, we can't always be on as librarians and teachers. We can't always be ready to read a story, and so we can go to BookFlix and this can read the story for us. It's also very animated. I'm going to click on Watch the Story. Also adds some music, shows the pictures very clearly. You can, of course, enlarge to a full screen, and you can also pick how fast you want your playback rate to be. We'll turn on our sound here. So this will read the story directly to your students. It will also show the pictures. It will also have the animations and the music, and it just makes it a very engaging format for a read aloud in your library or classroom, especially if you are not reading to your students directly. The other really great thing about this as a read aloud is that it has a Spanish option. So it's going to be the same story, but it's going to be in Spanish, and you're going to have the Spanish subtitles on the bottom of the screen as well. So this could be really great for your multilingual students or your students that are learning English, or even if you are a Spanish teacher teaching Spanish and want your students to engage in a text that is in Spanish as well. And then we can also click to the nonfiction pair for this story, which is A Bear Cub Grows Up. Now, students can read this book by themselves. So they can go through, they can read it alone, but there's also the read-along option. So again, you can choose your playback speed. This becomes a read aloud now, but also at a rate that maybe allows your students to read along with it. You do a lot of things with this nonfiction text that pairs with the fiction text. And then there are a few activities that go along with this set of stories as well. So you have a word match, fact or fiction, which comes first, and you can even dive deeper into these stories as well. So you could also go back if you were doing a theme on animals and nature to any of these other books, have more read alouds that are included in your theme for your classroom or your library. And then you can also see within this menu of books on animals and nature that you can see which ones have a Spanish option. It has the little banner up in the corner. So really, really fun, really engaging tool. Sometimes I think we tend to shy away, or we know as librarians when we start talking to our teachers about the databases or electronic resources from the state, we tend to shy away from them, or teachers tend to shy away from them because it seems a little heady. It seems a little like, oh, I don't know how I would use that in my classroom. This is a great introduction to your elementary school teachers or your elementary school students to what the State Library has to offer as a resource, because it is fun and engaging and visual, and it has so many stories, so many books, so many read alouds, so many story pairs. It is a great place to start for anybody who just wants to start diving into the resources, and also maybe for anybody who's kind of looking to up their read aloud game. This can sort of help with that. You don't have to do it all the time. It can also help you notice how these books are read aloud with tone and inflection and sort of that interactive nature. So BookFlix is a great tool to use in your library or your classroom as both a read aloud and a way to bring fiction and nonfiction pairing together. I hope you use it. I hope you find a lot of uses for it in both your library and your classroom.